Hey everybody, Chad here. Welcome back. Haven't done a video for a while, but anyway, what's the non-BS, no BS with law of attraction? How do we get law of attraction to work for us? Just in case, it's hard for you to manifest, it's hard for you to get what you want, or you just think it just simply don't work. I mean, what's the no BS here with law of attraction and manifesting goals and your wants, your dreams, desires, and stuff like that? Before we get started, I've been in Thailand for like the last 10 months. I just got home, so I'm kind of redoing my office here. So I usually have these bad boys, my whiteboards hanging on the wall. Right now I just have it leaning against a flipping chair until I figure out wall space, where to put them and stuff like that. So we're kind of basically see how this is going to work. I might just flip off the chair. But anyway, let's go back to the law of attraction, kind of no BS with law of attraction, because there's a lot to law of attraction. It's not so simple as people make it sound like, or gurus make it sound like. There's certain things that are, can be very difficult for people, and that's kind of why you're not attracting your goals, attracting the things that you want, the things that you desire. So I'm going to kind of go down an example of the no BS law of attraction. So we're going to do an example, kind of a want, a desire, and kind of see how this plans out. So I didn't rehearse this. When I make videos, they're not rehearsed, and I'm not talking off a teleprompter. It's all off the top of my head, so I might talk random, but that's just my personality. But anyway, let's get rocking and rolling. So the first thing with law of attraction, you have to decide what you want. What in the hell do you want? So let's write this down. What do I want? Okay. I'm actually looking at to see if it's if it's wrote right, if it's backwards or whatever. But anyway, let's keep on going. So, what do you want? I mean, you have for one. I mean, this is a must. Okay. Let me grab a different. For one, this is a must. Okay. Put this red here. For one, if you don't know what you want, okay, or you're confused of what you want, you go back and forth between 1, 2, 3 things. Well, right then and there, you're not going to manifest. You're not going to get your desire, to get your goal, because your brain. What happens is your brain, or your subconscious mind, gets confused. Makes sense? If I don't know what I want, well, how in the hell am I going to attract it? Okay. Or you might, I might want this, I might want this, or I might want that over here. Well, you don't have a definite purpose, okay? That's why when you read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about having a definite purpose, having a chief aim, okay? Be definite in what you want. Be clear on what you want. So one in here, you have to be clear, okay? You have to be definite. So for example purposes, let's talk about this. Sorry, I'm looking at myself too. See if I'm still on camera. But anyway, let's say I want to manifest $20,000 a month. Okay. And for some of you, that could be a big goal. And when we try to manifest, sometimes we have a goal. Sometimes we want to try to manifest something kind of beyond reach. Makes sense? Something that's a little bit hard, okay? And I mean, that's just in my opinion. You don't want to, sometimes what we try to do, we try to manifest stuff that we know we're going to get anyway. So if you go after a big goal and you achieve that big goal, then you kind of understand that law of attraction actually works. So what I mean by this, you want to be clear, you want to be definite. What I mean by it causes confusion is that, let's say I want 20,000. So I'm being clear, I want 20,000 a month, but your mind starts to play tricks on you a little bit. You start thinking, well, I want 20,000 a month, but 20,000 sounds hard. Maybe 10, maybe 15. But holy shit, I'll settle for 8. You know what I mean? So you're kind of all over the place. Your mind, subconsciously, you're kind of all over the place. So, when you look at the law of attraction, look at manifesting, well, your thinking is all over the place. You're not definite. You're not clear on wanting this 20,000. You're all over. You're like 20,000 or 15,000, 10,000, or crap, I'll settle for 8,000 a month. Okay, so you're all over. So the biggest thing right here is you have to be definite on what you want. You want 20,000 a month. Keep it simple. That's what you want. That's what you set your mind after. That's what you think about. 20,000 a month. Now, once we pass this hurdle, you're clear, you're definite, you have a definite chief aim, you have a definite goal, you know exactly what you want. Step 2 is kind of when one of the things I struggle with when it comes to step 2. I do struggle with this a little bit, because sometimes when you overanalyze, overthink, you're not making a definite decision. Okay. So here, you want to make a definite decision on what you want. But step 2 here is where people kind of fall into a trap. This is where I can fall into a trap too, because I like to overthink and overanalyze. So what's part 2? Part 2 here is the how. I put some question marks in there. So what do I mean by the how? Well, what happens, it's just human nature, okay, is once we have a clear decision on what we want 20,000 a month, then our mind shifts into how in the world this is going to happen. Okay, we start planning things out, trying to take action plans. Maybe we're not writing anything out, but we start kind of getting mentally exhausted trying to figure out, well, how in the hell am I going to make 20,000 a month? We look at our current job, our current situation, then we start thinking, well, I have to make this per hour. How can I do this even if I got a second job? I'm not going to make 20,000 a month, for whatnot. So, this is kind of where our brain starts to take us. We start trying to figure out the how, okay? And right here, this is really a trap, okay? Remember the law of attraction. All you want to do is think about what you want. Don't care about the how. You have to let go of the how. You have to let it be, okay? You have to let go. So down here, what we want to do is let go. The how doesn't concern you, okay? And this might be tough for most people. And it's tough for me because I like to overthink and overanalyze, okay? I like to figure out how this is going to happen for me, okay? Our goal, okay, this is our goal. Our goal is just know what we want. That's it. Know what you want. It's in your subconscious mind. You're thinking about it. When you think about what you want 20,000 a month, okay? Every single month, okay? The how, you have to give up the how. The how doesn't concern you, okay? The how comes from the universe, comes from God. Let God figure out the how, okay? All you know is your definite chief aim. All you know is your definite goal, okay? The reason why we want to let go, the reason why we don't want to try to figure out the how is because when we're down here trying to figure out the how, what's really happening is we're trying to force it to happen. Okay? We're trying to force it, and we're trying to force it our way. We're trying to get it in our direction. We're trying to figure out the how, then we come up with this master plan in our mind thinking, oh, I know a great way how I can make 20,000. So we try to force it to happen. What happens when we force things? Okay? Remember, force negates. When you try to force something to happen, it runs from you. Okay? When you try to force somebody to like you, what happens? They don't like you. When you try to force a relationship, what happens? Well, the person don't want to be in a relationship with you. No matter if it's a friendship or a significant other or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatnot. They don't want to be in a relationship with you, but you're trying to force it to happen. They can feel that intensity from you. I mean, they can feel that energy from you. They're trying to force something to happen. So they kind of want to stay away from you. Okay, so force negates. Okay, so force kind of runs from you. The same thing in this example. Okay, when I'm trying to force something to happen from one angle, okay, I'm so focused on this one angle. Look, I'm so focused on this one line, I'm trying to force it to happen. It runs from me. It stays away from me. Okay, I'm closing all the other avenues. I'm closing off all the other ways 20,000 a month could come to me. Okay, that's why you need to let go. You need to let go just like a kid. Okay, remember as a child, that when you ask your parents, like no matter what you wanted a bike, a video game system, dolls, whatever you were into, when you asked your parents, maybe you wanted it for your birthday, okay? You just let it go as a kid, just naturally, okay? You just believed your parents, you don't get it for your birthday, you just let it go, and you ran outside and played with your friends, you moved on. You just completely let it go because you completely trusted in the whole process, okay? You trusted, this is what I want, I let go of it, and you knew you were going to get it, okay? Just as a kid, just being natural with it, okay? It gets more difficult when we're an adult because we start to overthink and overanalyze. But what we want to do is completely let go, okay? We don't want to force anything, okay? We just want to kind of almost go with the flow, okay? You know it's going to happen. You know you're going to get what you want. You don't know the timing. You don't know when it's going to come. You don't know how it's going to come, but you're keeping everything opened for it to come in a different avenue. It might come a totally different way than you're expecting. That's why you want to let go, okay? You don't want to control the how. You give up the how. Okay, now, where the rubber meets the road here, let's go to step 3, I mean. I'm getting ahead of myself. Step 3 is, I know my definite goal, my definite chief aim. I want $20,000 a month. Okay. Now what I need to do, this is what I need. This is where your homework comes in. What I need to do, I let go of the how. That's not my purpose, trying to figure out how in the world I'm gonna make, or you're gonna make $20,000 a month. What you want to do is you live in the end. Okay. Now what I mean by that is live in the end. You act as if you already have your goal. You act as if you already make $20,000 a month. See, that's your homework. This is where your homework comes in. This is something that you can do. You don't want to control the how, okay? You want to live in the end. Okay, when you live in the end, you act as if. And what I mean by act as if, you act that you already achieved your $20,000 a month. Okay, brainstorm with me for a second. Now, how would life be if you already made $20,000 a month? What would you be doing? How would you be living? How would you be treating people? What would your personality be like? So forth and so forth. Okay, then you act as if you already have that goal. In your mind, you already make $20,000 a month. Period. You already believe, you already trust it's going to happen. You're very grateful and thankful that you make $20,000 a month. And you behave and you become the person like you want to become as you're making $20,000 a month. Okay? Because when you think about it, over here, we're kind of living backwards a little bit, okay? What I mean by this is when we get to this step, okay, we kind of flub up here. We try to control the how, okay? We need to let it go, okay? Then we come down here and we say, well, Chad, you say live in the end. You act as if you already make $20,000 a month. But the mistake we make down here is that I had a brain fart, but is that, what was I going to say? Shoot. We live in the end, we act as if, I know what I was going to say, I apologize, that we struggle with, I'm not going to live the way I want to live until I make this money up here. So I'm going to wait. I'm not going to act as if, until I make the $20,000 a month. Now that's when, I'm going to become a different person. Okay. Until I make $20,000 a month, that's when I become a better person. When I make $20,000 a month, that's when I start helping people. Okay. I start, charities or whatever you want to do with your money. That's when I start changing. But we have it reversed. Make sense? What we need to do is we live in the end. We live like, we act like we want to do everything, but we would already do at $20,000 a month. Okay. Now, since I brought up I brought up money thing for a reason, because the money thing is you get a lot of you get a lot of comments, you get a lot of feedback. Well, Chad, you say, act as if, live in the end, pretend like I already make 20,000 a month. But I can't go out and buy my dream house right away. I can't go out and buy my dream car right away. I can't buy the clothes I want. I can't, I want to take everything to the dry cleaner. I can't do that. So how in the world can I act as if I make 20,000 when I can't do all that stuff? Now, of course, okay, you're not going to be able to do all that stuff. Makes sense. But in your mind, your subconscious mind, okay, you act as if in your imagination that you already make 20,000 a month. You carry yourself like you make 20,000 a month. When you go to pay for something, you're first to pay. It makes sense, because that's how you would act. What type of person you're going to become, how are you going to treat people? What's your personality going to be like? You're going to be nicer to people. Okay, all of this can be changed. And then when it comes down to a money thing, I might not be able to have my whole wardrobe like I want it, but you can afford to go out and have one really nice outfit. Make sense? And you start slowly gravitating in that area. Okay, you might not be able to take everything to a dry cleaner, but I bet you can afford to start taking a select group of clothes to a dry cleaner. Makes sense? So you can, you can't discredit what people like to do. They like to discredit everything. They like to debate everything that they like, and to try to figure out why something's not going to happen. Okay, you gotta gradually do it. Okay, but most of this, when you come down here, one thing we're talking about is our imagination. Okay, because that's how you influence your subconscious mind, is in your imagination. You already make 20,000 a month. In your imagination, you already make 20,000 a month. You already know how you're going to be, what you want to do when you make this money. But in your imagination, you don't want to say, I don't have the money yet. In your imagination, you act as if. You live in the end. You already have it. You already have your goal. Okay? This is the non-BS of law of attraction. This is law of attraction right here. Okay? And I'm not giving exercises of the subconscious mind and stuff like that, but this is pretty much the non-BS of law of attraction. Make sense? So, but also, in step 1, 2, 3, and acting as if is almost kind of step 4. They kind of blend together. But you can kind of see how, in step 1, you need to be clear on what you want. If you're not clear on what you want, well, all it does is create confusion. So your mind don't know what to attract when you create confusion. Okay, you need to be definite. You need to be clear on what you want. Like once you're clear, you make a definite decision. Then the mistake most people make, they jump down to try to figure out the how. Okay, you need to let it be. You need to let go of the how. The how isn't your responsibility. Okay, your responsibility is know what you want. Skip the how. You're not trying to figure out the how. You let the universe and let God figure out the how, because you want to open up the avenues in the different ways that can come to you. When you try to force the how, 10 different ways, for example, 10 different ways 20,000 a month could come to me. But I'm kind of closing off these 10 different ways and focusing on one. I'm trying to force it to come from one angle. Okay, then it runs from me. Force negates, remember. Okay, then, you need to let go. Once you let go, you come down to step 3. Step 3 is you live in the end. What does that mean? When you live in the end, you already have your 20,000 a month. Period. You already have it. Okay. Now step 4 and step 3 and 4 kind of go together. Is living in the end really means you act as if. You act as if you already make 20,000 a month. You act as if you already have your goal. Okay. Part of it's in your imagination, but it's how you carry yourself. It's how you think. Okay. Okay. And that's where exercises come in. Like, how would your life be? How would you be if you made 20,000 a month? Would you change? Would you have a different personality? Would you be nicer to people? Would you give money to charities? What would you be doing? And you act as if you do those things. Okay. Now, again, you might not be able to give write $10,000 checks to charities or your popular charities. Okay, but I'm sure you can give $1. I'm sure you can give $10. Make sense? So that's kind of the meat and potatoes here. This is why people flub up down here, is because they think, well, I can't write those 10,000 checks to charities, so I'll just wait till I make the 20,000. No, you need to write those checks to charities. I'm not saying you write $10,000 checks, but you can easily give $1, $5, $10. Make sense? You can easily once in a while treat someone out to dinner, treat one of your friends out to dinner, or pay for a lunch. You can easily do that stuff. That's the stuff you need to start doing. Okay, you need to do it. You need to do it first. Then this will start coming your way. It's not reversed. You don't wait. Well, I'm gonna wait until I make the 20,000 a month, and once I make the 20,000 a month, then I become a better person. No, you become a better person, then you make the 20,000 a month. That's how it works. But hopefully this helped, friends. Just something I thought about. You know, I'm kind of back. I'm kind of redecorating the home office, and kind of, you know, looking at the wall space, looking at this wall space has different angles, so I'm trying to figure out, you know, what to do with it. But anyway, if this helped, you can comment below, and I will talk to you later on. Talk to you later.